Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today, we're going to be taking a look at Klevgrand's brand new
Tomaphon.
Yeah! It's awesome. But first, we're going to kick off with Wolfstone Studio and Pete Johns doing a duet of a Pete Johns cover called Work in Progress. Let's do it.
Because we're all just a work in progress. Nobody's got it figured out. Yes, we're all just a work in progress. Nobody's got it figured out.
Nobody's knowing all they can. Not everything will go to plan. You might be set up, or you might get better. Maybe just need a helping hand.
Because we're all just a work in progress. Nobody's got it figured out. Yes, we're all just a work in progress. Nobody's got it figured out. We all have doubt and things to know and learn about. That we're all just a work in progress. Nobody's got it figured out.
When everything just seems so hard, you need to strive and you'll go far.
It's hard to grow up, but if you show up, you'll shine and they'll see what you are. Because we're all just a work in progress. Nobody's got it figured out. Yes, we're all just a work in progress. Nobody's got it figured out. What we know, we all have time, the room to grow. Because we're all just a work in progress. Nobody's got it figured out.
The shame and pain you feel inside, perfectionist is why you hide.
Trust in yourself and you will see you're not alone. Because we're all just a work in progress. Nobody's got it figured out. Yes, we're all just a work in progress. Nobody's got it figured out. With what we know, we all have time and room to grow. Yes, we're all just a work in progress. Nobody's got it figured out. 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 Nobody's got it figured out.
Good morning. That was Work in Progress, a Pete Johns song by... I nearly started again. Wolfstone Studio, adding their touch to it, so a bit of a duet there. I guess I was on that as well because I played drums on that song. So that was a four-way, me, Ron, Jenny and Pete. Glad there was no video for that. Anyway, welcome to the show. My name is Jade. This is How to App on iOS. And there is a pinned comment up the top of the chat. If you'd like to go check out Wolfstone Studio and their music, there is a YouTube link up there, so you can go subscribe to them. There's also a Songwhip link, so you can go check out their music on all the streaming services. And yes, I'm going to be playing them tomorrow as well because they are my featured guest this week on the show. As the last Friday now of every month. Now, we don't have an interview. We do Behind the Song, and it's episode 7 of Behind the Song this week. And we're taking a look at Wolfstone Studios' one of their songs. We're going behind to show you how it was all made and all that stuff. Yeah. Also, I'd like to welcome our War Warriors for $1 a month. You can become a War Warrior. We've got a quiz coming up this weekend as well. So on Friday, US time, UK time, we're doing the quiz. So if you are a War Warrior, go and check the members page here on my channel and you'll see all the details and what you need to download to be a part of the quiz. Check the show, all the relevant info's in there, what you need to do to be able to have a clicker to play on the quiz. It's an 80s quiz, should be fun. Also, you can become a patron. I'm pointing in the wrong place. There it is. And I'll master your songs for $1 a month. Yeah. And also, if you become a patron for anything above the dollar tier, you get a chance to win apps as well. And this week we have yesterday's app, which was, what was yesterday? Texture. And there'll be some copies of today's app as well for the patrons. Also, let's say hello to you all who are here today. Princess LDG is here for about 5 minutes. L'Reality's here. Great show. L'Reality just finished her show where she takes us through a walk down makeup, photography, apps, and giggles. Lots of giggles all the way through. Lots of giggles. Brad Example's here. Joe Glenn is here. And I just got sent a project from Joe, which I may be working on a little bit. Thomas Christ is here. Wonderful head moderator because he gives great head. That was weird. I don't know that. Don't Amelia, I don't know that. Jim Shannon on sounds is here. Cold Acre, what's going on? Throwing out the love hearts today to Princess. What's going on there? Sean Chandler, hello to you. Mateus, I hope you're doing well. Who else do I see as I scroll up? Make sure I try and get you all because I'm quite terrible. Russ is here. Russ is probably listened to his music, which I say sounds like a clock. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I saw Mark Bro here as well, but he had some sound going on, some mechanics and or whatever it was. Robin Cheyenne, hello to you if you're still listening. We got a killer app to look at today, yeah? This app is so good. Klevgrand are back at it again. They make great apps and they have outdone themselves once again with something really unique. It is Klevgrand's thing, yeah? To create apps that are just out of the box, interesting, and that's what we want from our apps. Let me bring up some information here for you because let's do our price drops thing, which you do every day. K7D tape delays on sale for 99 cents. That's a whopping saving of $5. There you go. Bleece Slow Machine's got a couple of bucks off. We've got tape at Lorenz is on sale as well. Cubasis. All these fingering apps are still on sale. Princess, did you take advantage of those? VHS Synth is on sale for $1 off. This show just gets worse every day, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. But today we're looking at Tomaphon. Tomaphon. It is $14.99. It is an investment. Yes, it's $15. But as you'll see, definitely worth the investment for something interesting. A new synthesizer that takes it a little bit in a direction you wouldn't expect, which I really like. Now, this app is also available on the PC and the Mac. So you can get it here at the Klevgrand's website. It's how much is it? Man, there you go. It's $129 on Mac Windows. $129. Now, the next time I hear somebody complain and say, man, iPad apps are $14, would you rather pay $129 or $15? Yeah, cheap. But it is available here on the Mac and the PC if you want to do that as well. So, yeah. Shall we get into it and make something with it? I guess we should. We should move on. We've got Pete Johns coming up after this today with, oh, look, I'm wearing a Pete Johns t-shirt. Look at that, Studio Live today. He's doing his GarageBand weekly show, and he's tracking vocals for this punk song he's been working on, which I was able to do drums for, which is really exciting. So I'm interested to hear where Pete's vocals go, because we all know Pete Johns has very catchy vocals. They're poisonous, in fact. They rot your brain because they're so catchy. I've made a project to kick off today's show. I'm going to need to grab a guitar, because I'm going to play some guitar over the top of this. We're good. Yep, we're making sound through there. I can hear it, but you can't. Awesome. So this is a little project I whipped up last night. Hello, Frank Terzo. Using this, so as you can see, before we jump into the project, let's tell you what it's made of. So we've got 3 instances of Scalar. Scalar is an amazing app which creates scales and music patterns where I don't have to think about it. I programmed it so ahead of time. We've got Zoa, that is a generative app that generates random notes from a scale. I've also got Neon Helium, which I've put in a piano scale. I've actually written a scale in here as well. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instances of Klevgrand's Tomaphon. I've got a guitar channel and a drum track. So this is a pretty big project that I worked on last night. It took me maybe about 30 minutes to make this. So we'll see how it sounds. Hi, Robbie Stingle. All right, we'll hit play and let's hear Tomaphon. Boom. All right, so you probably get a little bit of an idea of what's going on with this. So it is a synthesizer, but it's a little bit more. It's quite a bit more sophisticated than just a synth. Let's clear out this silly little project here that means nothing to me. It's gone. Goodbye to you. Thank you very much for being here. Let's load up an instance of Tomaphon, connect my keyboard to it, and we'll show you what's under the hood, how this thing works. Because you may think it's a little complicated. Really beautiful. So what is it? It's hard to explain really what it is. It's like a wavetable synthesizer rompler that you can create your own wavetables with it from your own monophonic recordings. So you can go in here and you can actually record your voice and turn your voice into a synthesizer, or you could record, say, a guitar and record one string at a time and turn that into a synthesizer, or any other app that you have. You could take a sound from that and then turn that into a wavetable within here. Very unique. Klevgrand always think outside the box. And they've done the exact same thing with this app as well. It's been out on PC for a little while now. And I think it came out in December last year, so it's taken them a while to get it over here to iOS, but they've done a fantastic job. I mean, beautiful. So, if you notice, around this section here, just pay attention here when I play a note, you can see that little dot moving around. So it's to create this section down here. This is the wavetable. So what happens is you import a file in here, and the algorithm breaks up the file into these little wavetables that you can go in and actually select. You can edit these, and if I click on each one, each note has its own little wavetable associated with it. And all these colors do mean things. We're going to get right into it. It's quite fascinating. You can see some of these have these lines through it, which means this is actually being cut. This file has been cut, and we'll cover more of that soon, why it's been cut. So there's a few of these that have been chopped. These are all pure. I like to call them pure. This one's got some cuts to it. So first we'll get out of this. So there's two sections of this app. So you have your editor. Here's the editor here where you do all your editing, and you have the synth. So the editor button can be found here, and the synth button will appear once you're in the edit screen. So these are the two main screens you've got to get your head around. We'll go through some presets so you can understand what's going on the actual synth screen, and then we'll import some sounds and we'll make our own synth, yeah? That's how we'll do the show today. Okay, so I'm going to start off just by showing you where the presets are. Presets can be found up in the top corner here. So it opens up this small little box, and again, this is the problem with PC ports to iOS. It normally means all the little things in here are small. I can zoom in a little bit there for you. So they are small. It is what it is. It's something that is going to happen regardless on ports because PCs have bigger screens. But you have a whole bunch of really wonderful presets here. Natural voices, natural strings, natural brass and reeds, guitar, bass, organic reeds, synth pads, synth voices, synth leads, synth stabs, And we also have assorted keys, percussion, experimental, and your own user presets. And there's a lot of sounds in each of these. We'll start at the top and go through these natural voices. So you've got names of people. So I do believe some of these, I see some of these names because they are developers from Klevgrand. I know some of these names. I know Tobias for sure. So I'm pretty sure they're Klevgrand staff. And when we change through them, so that's Becca. Then we've got an expressive ensemble. Jacob's in here. Expressive love. So we've got a whole bunch of these vocal sounds. That you get, so a whole lot of people's, they've got some chanting in here. Right, now you notice, I'll show you here on my keyboard. So when I play this soft, this chord, we're getting an ooh. And you can see these little dots here move into the screen as I hit the keys. See how they move in from the side? And the harder I hit the keys, we're getting an ooh compared to an ah. Really, really wicked stuff this is. Let's jump over to our presets. We'll go through some presets and I'll run through some of the controls. Got some detuned voices in here. Sounds like a cow. Now I'm just hitting the same note there. Lightly we get an ooh. Heavy we get an. Let's move to some strings. I'll show you this beautiful expressive string quartet. Got a cello. So some solo violins in here. We've got some tremolo strings even. And again, you can see those dots moving up and down. So you get the idea. We've got some brass and a beautiful sounding accordion. These are some of the best accordion sounds I've heard in an app for ages. It's really hard to get a good accordion sound. These auto accordions are really nice. Clarinet's really nice. So again, if you're looking for something that has a really good alternative for GarageBand, for some really nice strings and reeds and stuff, good choice here because you can import your own things as well. We've got a flute. And a fraction of the price of something like iSymphonic, even some horns. Trombones. We've even got some saxophones in here, I do believe. So we've got trumpets. Here's our saxes. So we've got guitars in here. Now these just aren't your typical guitar things. Even sitars. Hey, shaky guitar, what's going on? Okay, so what are we going to do? I've shown you a little bit of these presets. We'll come back to them a little bit later. Go back to our natural voices here and grab this ensemble. And let's show you the rest of the controls because it's important to know exactly what is going on here. So across the top this is in our synth screen, we have 4 sections across the top: a gain, a depth, a pitch, and a filter. And each of these have an envelope, our ADSR deal. So attack, decay, but we've got a loop in here and a release. And each of these sections have a time. So we can change the attack time to make it a really long attack. To get that really nice pad sound, or we can turn down this time. And each of these have a little velocity knob here as well, so which pertains to your keyboard. So you can change the velocity and bring that right down. So no matter how hard you're going to hit your external keyboard, you're controlling the velocity for the attack there. So each of these have a little velocity thing next to them. We've got this little loop section in here. So this is, once it gets to this section here, you'll see what happens. Follow the dot. We get this looping. We can... With other sounds, you'll hear much what this can do. So, and we have our release time. Now, any of these... Oops, what did I do then? That was fun. Any of these can be changed. So we've got some little controls across the top here. And what's nice is when you hover across the top, hi Kim, when you hover across the top, you see what happens. We've got this little drag, add, remove, or scale. So if we're on drag, that means we can move any of these little dots around. And we can actually go in here and move in here. We can pull this in. You've got full control. pull that all the way down. We can take this one way out there. So now we can hear that loop. Yeah, so we're getting that little vibrato thing in there. Really nice. And if we change this from the drag to add, then we can add more little points in here. We can add as many as we want, get crazy, and go back to drag. And we can start dragging these around however we want. So you've got total control to do anything with these. It's pretty cool. You also have a remove. So we can, if I click on remove now, I can remove any of the dots, any of our points. And you have this last one, which is a scale. So I can, once you've got scale, you can move anything that's, so two of these things together. And the last one is a fine tune. So you can go in and just, when you've got fine tune selected, it moves really slowly. So you can make minor adjustments to anything along here. All minor adjustments. If we go to drag, very slow to make these adjustments instead of the normal way. So those are the, now these apply to all of these 4 sections here, these little controls. So that was our gain section, right? That's our gain section. Now we also have depth in here. And not only do we have, again, our ADSR down here at the bottom, we've also got an LFO here. So now let's turn on the LFO. We'll turn up the LFO and we'll give it some frequency. So now we've got a bit of wobble in there. And we can change the frequency up really high. You've got an attack for this LFO as well. Pretty nice stuff. And again, we can move all these around. We can turn up the loop section in here. We can change the attack, all of that stuff, give it a fast attack. You know what? Shake. You've just got to experiment with this stuff. Exactly what Leela said. It's all just messing around with stuff until you feel something that you like. So we have this S and H thing in here as well, which you can, I can't remember what this is. What? I'm having a mind blank. So it's like something in hold. I can't remember. It's the one thing I can't remember. Good mind fart. So let's turn off this LFO just for now. We also have pitch. Our fourth one across is we can change the pitch of this along this line. So I can grab one of these dots here. I can bring it up, these two. And we can start getting fluctuations in the pitch. So you can see I've raised this pitch here at the end. Now when I let go of the keys, it goes up. So if we bring this one down at the start, you'll hear the pitch rise. You can get some really crazy pitch results in here. Insane. Insane. Now, you've also got an LFO in here as well. So we can add an LFO over here to the pitch. And you've got a little volume next to this LFO, so we can turn this up. Look at those little dots over here, wobbling out of control. It sounds like some kind of tribal voodoo thing. They're going to cut off a chicken's head. And again, with this section here, we've got an attack, decay, loop here and release. So we can drag that release out, bring this attack time down. Wonderful. And the last section is a filter. So our filter is on. We can turn this on and off as we please. And let's make sure it's on. So like any filter, we have a frequency, resolution, and a drive. Okay, so we've shown you these 4 sections. Now you're probably looking over here and going, what's this thing? This is a little matrix table we have here as well, where you can select things that you can control with your keyboard. So let's just clear these out. If I double tap on any of these dots here, it'll remove them. And when you hold down, you get a little representation of what's happening here. So we've got this little control 1, control 2, velocity, and a key map here. Yeah. So control 1, where do we find out what these controls are? I need to know. Well, look directly underneath. We have control settings. So here's where all these control settings in. Control 1 is currently set to my mod wheel. So if I hold down a key and go to my mod wheel, it's so creepy. So creepy on so many levels. Oh man. I'm just going to give it a bit of volume. All right, let's show you here. So you can change whatever you like here with control 1. If you click on this, we've got a breath control, foot controller, and expression pedal. You can even change this to a knob on your keyboard. So you can hit learn and you can assign this to a knob on your keyboard. So if I do this, I'll show you here. I'm going to hit the learn button. Hit learn and then turn this knob. So now CC71 is now attached to here. So now if I hold down, I can now control this with this knob on my keyboard, yeah? So you can assign things, all good. There's so many things you can, you've got 2 controllers you can assign things to. You can use a foot controller or aftertouch, all this kind of stuff. You've got controller curves here for the velocity of your keyboard, for your 2 controllers. We can go in and change the velocity of these, yeah? So we can change our curves. We've got a key map range here, which we can change, and this will have an effect on certain keys. So, and we have a pitch bend. Thomas will love this one. See the pitch bend here? You can turn this pitch bend all the way up to 12 semitones, like this. Not only that, you've got glide time. You can change, add your glide time, velocity, and key map. So we have three sections here. We've got polyphonic, monophonic, and a polylegato. So if you don't know, polyphonic is if I play multiple chords, yeah. Let's reset this. So it's back to, there we go. So if I play a chord, but if I change this to mono, now I play a chord, it only plays one note. So monophonic, one note at a time, and you can change your glide times and your velocities. And we've got this polylegato. So there's some real fun settings you can have in there with your controller settings. Now, back to this little matrix here. This is where these controller settings, you can add things to which pertain to these, right? So if I double click again over here, clear all these out, I can add a filter frequency by lifting up. You can go 100 or you can go into minus 100 with these. So they change color, green or red. Green for, plus, red for minus. So we can bring our filter, resonance. We can attack our gain depth or our pitch amount. And now from this mod wheel, you can control all of these things that are in that in this little matrix here. So you can set this to your key map as well, the velocity of your keyboard, or a second channel here. As I said, I can go in here to this second channel and hit learn. And now I've learned this knob here. So if I add like a depth amount in here and a pitch frequency, so you've got complete control with a keyboard and with your knobs. You can assign anything to these knobs, or with this little map over here, which is nice, really, really cool. All right, let's cover the effects, and then we'll make our own. We'll jump into making our own synths. Yeah. So we've got a delay. Let's turn up the delay. And you've got some options here with this pencil. You can change the filter of the delay. You can sync the delay or unsync the delay. You can change like 16ths. Add some feedback, some stereo width. You've got also a reverb. So the reverb is over here. Turn this on and off. You can turn these on and off. Let's turn up the reverb. And you've got a couple of things you can do here as well. You've got like a dark reverb. You've got a warm reverb. And you also have down here an EQ. So if we turn on this EQ, look at this. We have a full low shelf, high shelf. You can add a high shelf over here. Change the Q. Wow, to have an EQ in there is just really nice. What more can you ask? And we've got a little output here, so if you want to increase your volume. We'll talk about the voice settings now, and then we'll jump in and make our own thing. So down the bottom here, we have voice settings. Now this is super. Let's just remove all these little dots from our matrix. So we've got a clear... Lovely. So I'm going to click on the voice settings. Now here, you can pan voice. You can have up to 4 voices in here. So we've got 2 that are turned on. You can tell by the little on button here. So these 2 are on, and they're both set to normal pitch, and they've both been hard panned left or right. So you should be able to hear all that now in the right side because I've panned everything to the right. But now what we can do is go in and add harmonies. So let's do a hard octave up and a hard octave down. We'll turn these on, bring the volume down a bit, and we'll pan these both, maybe 3/4 kind of thing. And now listen. Boom. Wow. So you don't have to do a hard octave there. We can go and create some harmonies. We can go like 5 semis down, 5 semis up. Take this one maybe 7 or 8 maybe. And you can control the volumes of these. You don't have to have all of them on too. You can turn them off. And there's these really wonderful sections like humanize. So what you can do with this is humanize these sounds. We'll change the wave normalization. We'll turn these back on. And this humanize kind of, the algorithm takes everything that you're hitting on your keys and kind of just takes it out of sync slightly to make it feel more human. Yeah? You've got these pitch zone offsets as well. So how cool would that sound with an LFO running over it? Because all the parameters are open here as well too. Let's have a look. Can we find that? Where is it? The pitch, what was it called? The pitch zone offset. If you go in here, scroll, can we find it? The pitch zone offset. It's going to be somewhere in here. So I can't see it. Maybe it's not available. That would suck. That would sound sick with an LFO running over. I'm trying to find it quickly, but I can't. Anyway, you get the idea of what's going on there with the voice settings. They're really beautiful. Okay, now I need to tell you the difference between two things. So we have, as I've mentioned, we've got our presets, which can be found over here. So these are actual presets, and these presets control all this kind of stuff: the pitch, the filter, the depth, right? And they also control what model is loaded in here, what audio model is loaded. But you can load different audio models into a preset. For example, you can see here, this preset that we have, Expressive Ensemble, has the Ensemble OA model. I can now go into Load Model, and there's all these models in here: female voice, strings, so I could pick a cello, and all the same settings from the preset are still here. Nothing changes. We've just changed the sound model, the audio model in here. Yeah? But as soon as I change a preset, it chooses the actual audio model for that preset, right? So if I wanted to go back here and load in again that cello, let's go over here to strings, I would have to save this, right? So I'd have to go in here and hit Save As, Expressive Ensemble Cello, and hit Save. And now that is saved here in my little section down the bottom, User Presets. So just, you got to be aware of that. Whenever you change a preset, whatever you've got loaded in here will change with it. Yeah? So now I've saved this cello preset. Beautiful. So now I can go in here and I can change to any model I want. As I said, we've got female vocals. Let's go in here. We've got woodwinds. So these are just the instruments. These aren't presets. Got a saxophone. So you got brass, you got guitars in here. There's an acoustic nylon. Okay, now I'm about to melt your minds. Are you ready? Because you can make your own instrument models to go in here with their own wave tables. So we mentioned before, showing you these wave tables in our editor. So now we're going to jump over to the editor screen and import some stuff, make some stuff, and it's going to be fun. So we've currently got this cello model loaded here. And you can hear, these are all our wave tables. If I click on them, these have been, the way these wave table is created is by importing monophonic sounds into this app. And I'm going to make one right now for you, right? So let's do that. I'm going to shut this down. Let's create a track here, an audio track. I'm going to grab a microphone. And I'm just going to sing some random notes. That's the idea. We're going to grab a mic. Make sure our microphone is up. Hello, hello. Good, good, good. Hello. So I have a microphone here. And I'm just going to record some ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Right? To do that, I'm just going to hit record down here and hit record up here, and we'll do some random notes. Now they can't be, you can't play chords into this. They have to be single notes, right? Let's hit record. Okay, so that'll do. Now, it doesn't need to be a set amount. It can be whatever you want. You can record a piano in here. You can record whatever you want in here. You can load up another app. We'll show you that. I can record guitar strings, whatever you want. Now that that's recorded, these recordings go into my little files app here. And they should be in, where are we? In recordings. So there's that file right there. So now I can drag this in. Let's have a look at it first and check out the file. So I can look at this file in my audio share, AUM recordings. There it is. So okay, you get the picture. So there's 4 monophonic notes. Yeah, and we'll head back over here to our app. And I want to import this. So we've got up the top here this import audio button. And we want to find that file. It's in audio share, AUM recordings. There it is. That is our vocal file. Let's load it in. And we are presented with this screen here. New automatic, new sorted, new manual, merge all, merge empty, or merge manual. Most of us, pretty much all of us, the best thing to use is new automatic. What it does, it uses the algorithm to listen to the notes, to find any imperfections, and it chops it up and creates wavetables for us. You can also do a new manual section, and I'll do that in a second. So we'll do new automatic. And it tells you what each of these do too when you click on them. New sorted clears the current audio model and creates a new one with the extracted waves. New manual clears the current one and where one can distribute waves to any pitch. So you can actually move these to any pitch, but you'll see what I mean. Let's just go with new automatic. These are the main 2 you're going to need to focus on. It works the audio, and what it's done is it's found the notes and it's put them into these scales here. So if I've got this little button pressed, it has made these notes for me. So if I now play my keyboard, that's what it's made from those 4 notes. So you can hear in there, because I sung wow, the harder I press down on the keyboard, you're getting that wow. Now you can hear there's an artifact in that note. So there's an issue, and I can go and actually fix this. If I click on this, you can see here there's a little problem. There's like a gap that's been generated here. You can now go in here and edit these and fix these up and repair them. I can smooth these things over, which is like outrageous. We have like these smoothing buttons and cleanup buttons, and you can clean up this stuff. Let's see if I can. Don't think I can do it for this one because of the way it's. We can normalize these things. So there's a little error. Or I can just chop the whole piece out. So if I take this, we have these little wave tools here, and I can smooth, delete, or reverse. So let's delete that. And look at that. That has tidied up that little section. So now when I hold down that key, we've still got that little click there. And I would say that's because of this over here. We can smooth this over now. So now that's flat. Now, if you look at these, you can see they're all kind of different levels. I might want to just chop this whole section out here. Let's just try that. Let's chop this whole bit out. Wave tools and delete. That's fixed it. That's fixed that right up. It's taken out. We can smooth this entire project out with these buttons up here. So we've got a normalize. You can set a threshold for how loud you want this to be. So if you've got one section, see how this section's quite low? I can hit normalize and we can bring that up. So you can really go in here and create some crazy stuff. You can change the bell curve of this. You can reassign sections of the song to another note. I could drag this. I could take this selection and I can now drag this down and make another note. Make another pitch. So we've created another wave, and I could go into this one over here and take this section, say, and drag this to a D. You can mess with anything. Now, another thing you may have noticed if you've got a keen eye, when I drag over this, it tells you up the top corner here what note you're actually playing. C sharp 3. If I go over here, we've got an E3. So it tells you what you've actually sung into this, what you've played into this. Really nice stuff. Now, before you ever jump out of this screen, you've got to save it. You've got to save and a save as. So let's save this and call it show vocal demo. Yep. Hit save. So now that's saved. I can now hit the synth button, get out of here, and we can start messing around with this, adding some delay, adding some reverb. We can go in here and add some crazy little pitch things to this. We can go and add some voice settings. And we can start shaping this. Are you fucking shitting me? That just came from my vocal? What? Fuck off. That instrument just came from me singing 4 silly notes. Wow. Let's take out some of that pitch. Klevgrand have done it again. This is wicked. This is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just, man, I'm so blown away by how cool this is. All right. So let's record something else. All right. Let's record something else. So we've got this little track here ready to record something else. And we'll find an AUV3 with some weird sounds. What can we do? Let's do, let's go to the bottom because all my weird apps are down the bottom, I think. What about something like Apparillo? That's pretty weird. All right. So let's add a keyboard to this. And we'll take the keyboard off this one for now. So I'm going to record in a bunch of notes. Let's find something else. Try and take off some of the effects. I got to remember the effects. Let's use this, and we'll take out the delay and reverb. All right, we'll use that. Yeah. So I'm going to hit record and just play a bunch of notes. That'll do. And then we'll come back over here and let's import that and see what it does. See what we can create with this thing. I can stay in the same app, can't I? Yeah, cool. Let me remove my keyboard from there. Bring it back over here. Okay, so let's do a new model. We'll go into our editor and import audio. Audio share. AUM recordings. I'm guessing it's numbered. This one. So it's analyzing. Now let's introduce this as a manual instead of an automatic, and I'll show you the process. So when you choose manual, it just brings in the notes. Now you have to assign the notes to this wave table down here. And how you do that is you drag across the notes. Let's see if I can do it right. So you drag across, it tells you it's a C4, and you want to find a C4, or you don't have to use a C4. So we've got a C4 down here, and I can drag this down to a C4. So that's been placed in there. The other method you can drag these down, so let's do the next one. Let's drag that. It tells us it's an A3. Now, if you don't want to drag it, if you use these audio tools up here, you can see it says send to pitch zone. Whatever it's decided, it'll send it to that note. And we can go through all these and drag them. So this is the manual way. That's why I said the automatic way is a lot easier. It's going to, take all this suffering out for you. Stuff. So I say it like it's painful. Let's export this into the pitch zone. And our last one, export to pitch zone. And there's our keyboard. So let's go down here and have a look at it. We'll hit done. What? And again, you can see these dark lines in here, where we've got these darker lines. Well, if you click on this, this is where you'll start seeing, because we've imported this manually, if we automatically imported this, a lot of these lines would be removed, right? These are saying these are not within the note. So we can get rid of these. We can go in, drag over these, and just delete them. And we put a cut in there, right? So now, so you can go in and remove these individually. You can drag, delete, completely up to you how you want to do these. Let's just do a drag. And we'll do a cut in here. And you can go through all these and remove these sections as well, if you like. You can hear how that's a note. And when we drag over these dark bits, they're all warbly. Now you might want to leave them in there for artistic textures. You know, that's completely up to you. Absolutely up to you. We can try and smooth it. And look at that. We've smoothed that over now. Yeah, so you've got options to come in here and... Let's try smoothing that there. Hit apply. Oops, go in here. We'll try cutting this one out. And we'll cut this one out. So this is the difference. And this one here, we can smooth that over. So you can really fine tune all of these. And you can see there's a lot of yuck in there. Yeah, DSP is only at 20%. Let's show you the difference on if I import this automatically. Yeah, so we'll do another import. Don't save. We'll import the same file in. And we'll hit automatic this time. And you'll notice it really takes the guesswork. See how they've all been chopped? All these lines down here mean that something's been chopped. Now I can go and clean all these lines up as well. Let's go in and hit cleanup. And you can apply a cleanup and try and remove some of these lines. We can smooth some of these over. We can select all of this. And do a smooth. Let's select these again. Or a normalize. We can normalize this section here. Make it. Whoop. You can move sections around, right? So you can get really crazy with this. You can do. I'm just going to reload this model one more time. Untitled, that one. Boom. Auto. And again, you need to save these. So you need to remember, before you get out of this screen, you need to save these. Save as. We'll just call this Madness. And now if we click up to Synth, and now we can go into our presets and find something. Let's go into our presets and find something strange. We'll go into like, what have we got down here? Assorted keys, some synth pads. Let's grab this distorted piano. And now we'll load our model that we just made, which you can find in your user bank. What was that called? Madness. There it is. Now we are using the preset. So all these filters that are preset in here, but we're using our own model. So you can hear how that sound is totally different. Totally fucking different. Let's go and find another preset, like a synth stab, glitchy tines, and then we'll load our model in here of Madness. And we've got a stab. What else? We've got this Mystic Guitar Echo. Now I've made a few other ones. I think I've got a Guitar E model. So for this one, I'll show you. This is what I made. This is just, I made this last night. So it's just a guitar playing an E minor, right? Again, they have to be monophonic sounds that you put in here. So I recorded that last night, and let's import it in here. This is the guitar E model that I recorded last night. Fucking beautiful. We'll load in my guitar model again. We've got another one here called Jade's Voice. Let's load that one in. So here's one that's just my voice. Again, we'll load in my voice on a voice model. Then we'll get the hell out of here, yeah? Okay, that's better. This is my voice. It's just awesome. We'll add some extra stuff over here. See you later, shaky guitar tutorials. I can't get over that. I can't get over that is made from nothing. From just me going la, 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 la. It's wonderful. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's something that you could add to your arsenal? Do you think this is something that could make your music sound better? I think it's a winner. It's $14.99. It's from Klevgrand. If you're a Patreon, remember I have a couple of copies to give away if you're a Patreon. So I'll be putting that up straight after the show for Patreons. So you know the deal if you're a Patreon. Yeah, it's a winner. I can't stop playing with it. It's so, and again, there's so many more instruments in here too. I barely even covered them. You know, there's bass sounds. There's dynamic pads, the stabs, assorted keys. It's so experimental sounds. I mean, you could record a fart in here as well and turn that into a synth. You could do anything you want. It's totally open to your interpretation. Wonderful stuff, Klevgrand. Wonderful. Did a great job. It's good to see Klevgrand continuing to think outside the box and bring us such good quality apps. Tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow, my gang? We are taking a walk down memory lane because Euclidean has had a massive update, and we're going to do like a mini walkthrough from the beginning of Euclidean, just to get you started on making simple stuff. And then we'll run through all of the updates to Euclidean. And yeah, that's happening tomorrow. Remember, also, as I said at the top of the show, this week we have Behind the Song coming up. If I can find it here, it's somewhere in here. Who knows where it is? I can't see it because I'm blind. There it is. Where Wolfstone Studio is coming on the show. We're going to take a look at their song, I'll Take You There. We'll go behind the scenes and see how they made the song, yeah? Good stuff. Alrighty, that's it for me. I've gone way over time, but I really wanted to cover this as in-depth as possible because I know many people will be a bit overwhelmed with it and not understand how it works. I hope you've got a better understanding of how it works and I haven't confused you more. If I have, let me know in the comments below and I'll probably ignore you. No. Remember, thanks for being here in the chat. If you're watching on the replay, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Please, it does help with the algorithm and all that jazz. And you know what? Do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better. And
we'll all rise together, 'cause you make me shine better. Together.
Pete Johns is up next with GarageBand Weekly.
You make me shine better.
See ya.
And when the night is cold and lonely, we all shine together.